Do you know how seriously Patrick studies? As silly as it sounds, his brain was just chilling, picking its nose, when suddenly a flood of knowledge barged in. It turned out Patrick was actually reading a book, and his brain was completely caught off guard. A brain that had never learned anything in its life had no idea how to handle something like this. With knowledge constantly pouring in from the pages, his head grew several times bigger. One day, Patrick went to hang out with SpongeBob, but the house was completely empty. So Patrick wandered upstairs, and SpongeBob just happened to walk out of a room. Patrick wondered what secret that room was hiding, but Bob said it was just a library. Patrick didn't understand, so Bob explained, "It's like a playground for your brain." Patrick seemed to get it, picked up the TV and tossed it straight out the window. Then he walked in and started acting like his usual self. After watching a series of silly antics, Bob realized his best buddy might actually be a big dummy who couldn't even read. So SpongeBob started teaching Patrick how to read, but Patrick didn't know the letters at all. Meanwhile, inside his head, his brain was still picking its nose when a bunch of strange things suddenly rushed in. The brain freaked out. It was the first time it had ever seen knowledge. But the more Patrick read, the more addicted he became, launching into endless reading. Words kept flooding into his head, and when the cerebellum saw this, it knew something had to be done. It immediately got to work, and before long, it had built a whole city of knowledge. Patrick kept reading faster and faster. From a brain with zero memory, he somehow upgraded it to a full terabyte. Even his way of speaking completely changed. The once illiterate Patrick now sounded like he could stand shoulder to shoulder with Einstein. But great wisdom isn't always a good thing, because now his oversized brain was stuck in the doorway.